All right, we're just going to review something you've probably done for a long time real quick just to make sure you have the vocabulary. So we're going to talk about classifying triangles. There are two ways you can do that. You can classify them by sides, and you can classify them by angles. And I'm sure once I say these words, you'll be like, oh yeah, I know those. So what you really need to do is get out a piece of paper and copy these notes along with me. When you're finished, you need to take a picture of this page and place it in your notebook. I will put the page for your notebook on the classroom assignment so you can see. But make sure you upload it to that page because this is your notes to refer to if ever you can't remember. So in order to classify by size, you can classify by how many are the same. So I'm going to write down the words and see if you can remember from what you've learned in the past which is which. All right, so scalene is the word most people forget the most, and scalene means it has no congruent sides. Okay, so a very not really good drawn a scalene triangle, all of these side lengths would be different. Okay, so those marks, remember, are congruent marks, and none of them match. So this is scalene, no congruent sides. Isosceles has two congruent sides, and we use these a lot in our class, and it would be marked something like that. Okay, there are other properties of isosceles triangles that we're going to use, but we're going to talk about those a little bit later. For now, it's just a vocabulary. What you need to know is that isosceles triangles have two congruent sides, and equilateral have three congruent sides, all of them being the same. Okay, so no congruent sides, two congruent sides, three congruent sides. All right, these two have special properties um, that we're going to do in the next couple of days and let you work with. But for now, this is all you need to know for those. All right, and by angles, we have acute, right, and obtuse. The same names as we use for just how to classify angles. Acute triangles have three acute angles. So all of the angles are under 90 degrees. All right. A right triangle has one right angle. So the other two, I want you just to think about it. If one of them is right, do you think the others can be obtuse? Do they have to be acute? Just think about that. We'll talk about it more later. And the last one is an obtuse, and it has one obtuse angle. Something like that. Okay? So those are the ways to classify by angles. There's also one other word you might see sometimes, and that is equiangular instead of equilateral. And that means exactly what it sounds like. All three angles are congruent. All right, that's really it. Just a brief overview of the words that we use to describe triangles by angles and by sides. Copy that down, take a picture, and upload it into your notebook. All right, see you later.